Here's the small snowman. I have two large pieces. I've done half the pieces in green and half the pieces in white so you can see a little easier what I'm doing. And each of these largest pieces has a slot in the center. Remember where those are, because this time we're not going to start in the center. It's a little easier to see what I'm doing if I start with one row out with a medium piece. This is a little unusual. It's an enclosed slot. So I want to slip it around this piece, this part right here. So I'm just going to go up like this. And now as I pull this piece up, I want to let it rock out a little bit so that I can get it around the brim. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And get it around the brim. And now let's put in our middle piece. Just have to be careful that nothing gets tangled up if you put it in later. And if they do, just make sure all of your pieces are separate from each other like this. Now let's put the front piece on, a front one. And again, this middle piece that has the nose of the snowman has exactly the same kind of slots as the other one. But this one has two more slots here in addition to the enclosed one, and these side pieces have a slot closer in and one farther out. So I want to take the slots on this green piece and engage the slots on the white ones that are a little closer in. And as I pull this up again, I'm going to pull that upper part out a little bit so I can get around the nose and the brim of the hat. Do it again, going up the center. And these other slots almost will just go together by themselves. And as I pull it up, let this come out so we can get around the brim. I like to straighten it out afterwards because these pieces are sort of sticking out a little bit. So if you go like that, it helps to bring those back in. Now we just have the outer pieces to go. I'll start with a white one. When I'm working small like this, I like to take a pair of chain nose pliers so that I don't have to fight this with my fingernails. Now there's a little slot right here. I'm just going to slide down onto that. The upper slot here is not structural. It's just going to go around part of the snowman when I get it in place, and it's just for looks. So I'm going to swing this piece around like this and bring this underneath the slot on the green piece, like so. And I have another slot over here and another slot on the white piece. So I'm just going to swing it over the other way and do the same thing on the other side. Now this little slot on the top, it may fall into place, and then again it might not. And it is simply allowing this rounded part here on the green piece to come through so the shape looks nice from the other side. So now I'm going to put on the other white piece. Again, it's the same procedure. I'm just going to come down the middle, swing it over in one direction, and then swing it over the other way and let it come underneath like this. And now I just have the last pieces. This one goes in the front. This has a little scarf on it. So again, I have a slot in the middle on the large piece. Just goes down the same way. I'm going to rock it over to one side, get it under that white piece. And now the other side, I just need to let this little part, this little scarf part here, come up out of the way. So I'm just sort of ignoring it because what I want to work with is this tip. So I'm just putting that under here like so. And then I just need to put on the back piece, which is again the same thing without a scarf. Going under this slot here and swinging it around and going underneath the slot on the other side, like that. So there's the snowman. When you're actually making one, of course, you'll decorate him and put a face and color the hat and put some branch arms on him as well.